Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 15 of Not Your Echo Chamber Podcast.
Crash!
I just went over a bump because we're driving currently. We are on the way to the Northern Grace Youth Camp Spring Youth Retreat 2025, and I'm currently trying to go the correct speed limit because for some reason in town they have this weird rule where you have to go like 25 miles an hour. Ugh, give me a break. Anyways, this is the podcast where we talk about our opinions and you don't have to like it. And this is also the podcast where you listen to me accelerate as we go down the road. But just to start out this episode, before we get into anything, I just want to go over one thing. There's a question, or like a controversy that's been going around the internet, I guess you could say, of this question that's been asked: who would win in a fight? And we're gonna discuss this. I'm not necessarily an expert on it or know like specific details of the ins and outs and how all this would work, but
I'm sure I am.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. So the question that's been asked is, who would win in a fight? And people have gotten in like fist fights over this. Who would win in a fight? 100 men or one gorilla? Now, just to start out with this question, I want to say men today are certainly not the men of however long ago. I'm going to say like 100 years ago.
True.
We could be able to say definitely the men, because men were not little wiener dogs who just running around and crying for the mommy all the time.
Some men today, you can't even tell if they're men or women.
That's true.
They just look like they have no defining features.
An issue very close to my heart that I cannot talk about on the podcast.
You keep bringing things up. I'm sure people are so curious.
Yeah.
Your life is so mysterious off the pod.
I know, my subway life. Whoop, I shouldn't have said that. Anyways,
your subway life.
Yeah, 100 men and one gorilla. Now there's I really don't know to start out with how to even approach this question. Have you seen anything about this on the internet?
I have not. But my initial thought is that eventually the gorilla has to die in a pile of dead bodies, right?
So what happened was somebody did a simulation, and whenever somebody does a simulation, usually it's just a glorified crappy animation of a gorilla punching a bunch of dudes. And so apparently according to the simulation, the gorilla would win. But this thing showed 10 men attacking it at a time, which is not particularly fair. Also, my second point is that gorilla versus a bunch of men you're just animating something. You're not really showing a simulation. You're just animating it.
Right.
And that this is to say immediately writing off the 100 men is saying that the gorilla is somehow more intelligent than the intelligent forces of 100 men, because I'm sure 100 men could figure out some way to sacrifice some of them in a way that they could get weapons that could kill the gorilla. Say they go in for wave 1, 10 men get killed and slaughtered, and the gorilla's beating its chest, and another 10 distract them while the other 80 turn the dead bodies of the killed men into shivs, and then they attack the gorilla. To write off something like that. Now, I'm not saying that's what would actually happen in this circumstance, and that would be the most, I don't know, that's super gruesome. Don't even think about it. I don't even know why I brought that up. But
let's set this up though. Are the guys armed?
Armed?
Are they armed?
No,
or
they're
are they
not.
Just dudes?
They're both unarmed, which is where the unfair part comes in. Of gorilla in the wild is armed with its arms. It doesn't need any of that. It's already a predator without having guns or whatever to fit nicely into its opposable thumbs and fingers. And the men without any of that stuff, if you just have 100 men with no weapons, no armor, any of that stuff, what do they really do? I mean,
are they naked?
Yes. Of course.
They will die. They will all die if they're naked.
Of shame. Half of them will die of shame because the men in this country are mostly obese. And then the rest of them,
Obesity. It's the number one killer.
It's the number one shame killer. Yeah. It's a killer.
Obesity is the number one killer of fat people.
100%. That's true. Yes. 100% of people who killed because they were fat were also killed with obesity.
Obesity.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what we're driving through right now.
Obesity.
But
so okay,
100 men, one gorilla. Now, How big is a gorilla?
Not that big, actually. I think they, like, the tallest gorilla, like, just, like, standing up was, like, 4'9" or something. Here, let me grab
Really,
my
because
phone.
what I saw in the simulation the guy did, I'm not saying I'm on his side or anything, but, like, what I saw was a 10-foot gorilla, and it was just mauling all these guys. And I'm like, there's no way a gorilla, silverback or not, is that humongous. Just base gorilla is that big. Because if we're talking about the average of each of these, well, actually, if we're thinking about the average of each of these, I think it would be fair to say worldwide average would probably be less fat overall than, like, the worldwide average of, or the United States average of men. Because the United States average of men are down the tubes. All they know how to do is play video games. And I'm sure a good 30 to 35% of them actually work out, but, like, I'm gonna say 0 to 1% of that working out muscles actually help you in a battle versus a gorilla. Unless you're, like, doing something like martial arts or something, then I would say that's even a smaller subset of men.
Adult male gorillas typically weigh between 300 and 500 pounds.
Oof.
And stand up to 6 feet tall.
Up to 6 feet tall. So is that on its hind legs or what?
I'm not sure. I'm just reading what the AI overlords are saying. The initial thing says Western gorillas are 4.4 feet.
So, yeah, so if that, I'm guessing on hands and knees, they're like 4 feet tall, which honestly, we all are. So, like, let's just say, just to be for the gorilla side, so that it's not totally destroyed, let's say that the gorilla is, when he's standing up on, like, his, I guess what we would see as legs, let's say that he's about 7 feet tall. Is that a good assumption, I guess? Just to be fair to it?
6 feet tall is about the max height of a gorilla.
Okay. 6 feet tall.
6 feet tall standing up. Now, I do have this question. Do the men get to talk to one another before they fight the gorilla?
To, like, develop a battle strategy or something?
Like, do they get to introduce one another, or is it just blind plopped?
Just drop right down in there?
Like, when the light's off in the bathroom.
I guess we would have to assume it's equal playing field of time prep beforehand.
Well, the gorilla's not doing anything with his prep.
I guess that's true. But, like, yeah, it's a gorilla. Gorillas are dumb. They pick their noses in front of... Anyways.
To be fair, so do men.
That's true. Well, are we talking about Americans or the worldwide average? Because that means we're even more screwed against gorillas, because there's a lot of short people in the world. I guess Africa and Russia would bring our height up, but then, like, China and Mexico would bring it down.
Wow, just height shaming.
Yeah.
People.
No, not height shaming, yeah.
Ethnically height shaming.
It's ethnic studies, so it's fine. But really, I guess what I gotta say is it's gotta be 100 men, and there's no way it's not. Just by sheer volume of flesh. There's just more flesh up against the gorilla. And I know gorillas are like giant beefcakes of, like, giant round plump watermelon muscles and huge greasy Amazonian pecs just going up against this guy. If it's a silverback, these guys, they're literally made for fighting, and humans are not made for fighting. Humans were made to walk around and know Jesus and stuff. They weren't meant to, like, go beat up a bunch of college students or whatever. But yeah, I just gotta say it's the humans. And I know I'm in the 5% or whatever who believes this, but because so many people believe in silverback gorilla, and when you average everything out, it just doesn't seem plausible that it would be the gorilla. And I know haters come after me on their internet. It's gotta be the 100 humans.
Okay. Here's what the AI says.
AI is the 100% accurate all the time. Never lies.
Yes. 100 men would likely win in a fight due to sheer numbers and the ability to coordinate attacks.
Yes, exactly. The coordination is the big part. How much time of prep beforehand do they get? And the gorilla's gonna be, I know they're whatever smart, like on a human level smart, not that level particularly, but they're pretty smart. But they don't have the knowledge and foresight to be able to take, like, a time that there is given to them to, like, create a battle strategy or whatever going into it. And the men absolutely would. And yeah, it really depends on whether these men are taking on the gorilla one at a time or what the tactics are.
Well, the other thing is, the AI is telling me that gorillas are not built for endurance fighting. So it probably tires out around killing like 30 guys, and then the other 70 can just strangle it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what it says. It says gorillas are not built for long duration fights and can tire quickly.
These gorillas weren't made for fighting. So they were made for like ambushes in the jungle or whatever, right? So that's what they were meant to like fight against. They weren't meant to like literally be dressed up in armor and go out to battle. So,
oh wait, is this a gorilla fighter?
Does it say Guerrilla?
The old guerrilla.
The old guerrillas. All right. Well, now that we are thoroughly into this podcast, I'm Christopher, and this is my co-host Jeremiah.
I'm eating McDonald's French fries.
I forgot to say that when we went into it because I was driving through town, and I am really bad at multitasking. And all I can think about right now is if the noises of this hybrid car are actually louder than my voice. They're like annoying to the point of you would turn off the podcast if you heard it.
I wonder if there's vibration.
I wonder if there's good vibrations. Yeah. From this thing, no, it softens all of it. There's no vibrations coming from the back there. Which is kind of nice. I got one of those magnet things. Anyway, we're talking about our opinions. You don't have to like it. Today's episode, we have weekly updates. We have news, media review, and then no draft because I didn't prepare for anything. I didn't add anything in there. And also after that, we're actually recording this on the way to the youth retreat. This is the earliest we've ever recorded a podcast on Friday evening. We've always done it either Saturday or Sunday. This is the earliest we've ever done it. So stuff is going to happen over the weekend, and I hope to have more content to put in this episode by the time it gets to when I'm actually going to release this episode. I hope to have both audio recordings asking people about this gorilla question, and maybe even some recordings of the 10 questions that are going to come out in Thursday episodes later. And yeah, so I hope to have that. Yeah, but who knows what's going to happen during the week. And we're going to have a special segment where we talk about, like, we do like basically a weekly update, a weekendly update, I guess we could call it, that we're going to record on the way home, where we're not going to have half as much energy as we do now because we're just going to be gassed. So, you ready to get into this thing for the weekly updates?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Let's do it. Weekly updates. You're going to have to get out the doc because I have no idea what the doc is.
Matthew, do you want to go first?
Matthew, you want to go first?
I'm in Kentucky right now, and I'm going to the Ark.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry about that.
I'm going to the prom. I love going to the prom with my girlfriend.
I'm a hooper.
I'm a hooper.
Yeah. All right, that's enough of our...
Matthew turned into, like,
Matthew's
the
millennial
captain.
now. Slay, queen.
Matthew turned into, like the captain of the teenage girls basketball team or something.
Yeah. I don't think they exactly... That would be more of, like, the captain of, like, the cheerleading squad.
Or the volleyball team.
Or the volleyball team. Oh.
I feel like girls...
That one hits close to home. Okay.
Why do you... Never mind. Let's not go there.
Yeah, let's not go there. For weekly updates this week, I guess I'm just going to think about mine. All right, so the first one is kind of a funny story. So I'm working at Subway, right?
Whoa, we're going to get a look into your Subway life.
My Subway life. Ooh. The secret Subway life. So it's afternoon, which means like 3 o'clock-ish, I would say. We've got pretty much all the chores done for the afternoon. Next chore list doesn't have to be started until 5. Me and my coworker were super bored. We're bored out of our minds. And I guess she does mostly, but I guess both of us are pretty annoyed by not having chores to do because it's just sitting around. And there's really, when you're just sitting around, there's really nothing to do. You're just being paid for doing nothing, which a lot of people really want that to happen, but not us. Anyways, nothing's really happening. We ran out of... paper towels, and that's like at the bottom of the list. So when there's nothing to do, that's like what you do is replace the paper towel in the paper towel dispenser. So we take she takes out the old roll. She takes out the roll that's like, the long cardboard roll. She takes that out.
Yep.
Because all the paper towels off of that.
Yep.
And anyway, so the trash can's on the other side of the room from it, right? Because it's right next to like the door where you go out and serve customers. So, and I'm in the middle, in between her on the one side and the garbage can all the way on the other side. And so she takes and we throw stuff through the room, and she's known to be throwing things near my head, and that they just barely miss and stuff. Anyway, she gets ready, and then she like throws it like past me, or no. What happens was she was gonna throw it. She raised it up, and like I just like flinched back just because I've got this normal reaction of 5-kid family. Gotta be prepared for anything. And she just saw it, and she didn't even throw it after that. She just like lifted it up, just saw me flinch, and I'm like, because she was legit gonna throw it, but stopped like halfway through the swing when she saw me flinch, and she was just dying. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I didn't realize. She said I had a look of apparently some kind of look of terror in my eyes, like I was getting some kind of PTSD from having cardboard tubes thrown at me at some point in my life. Anyway, it was just a funny little thing that happened, and basically what I'm saying is my week was boring and nothing happened.
What about Life is Like an Orange?
Oh yeah, so this is actually, Jeremiah's reading the doc because I have no idea what it is because I'm driving right now. This actually happened 3 weeks ago at the counselor retreat. One thing I forgot to mention on my solo episode, after I recorded that, got it up on the internet, I of course then remembered all the things that I didn't say on it. So I remembered everything that I forgot to say on the podcast, which includes this one weird little moment that happened that I forgot to write down. But basically what happened was it was me and Jeremiah. Were all of us there? Because I know Silas was there and Matthew was there.
Silas was there.
And the audience knows who those are. We have a couple more friends. And basically what happens is I'm holding I had a cutie, like a mandarin orange or whatever they call the little ones. And I'm holding it. And I'm like, we're not talking or anything. And I start like, life is like an orange. It's round and spherical, and it's the color orange. And the first one I said made no sense. It was absolutely nonsensical. But from there, we just went into this thing of like, I chucked it to Matthew because I know he would catch anything I chucked to him. And then he was like, life is like an orange. And then he said one, and then he threw it to someone else, and they're like, life is like an orange. So we did this funny thing. We were just chucking it around and saying how life is like an orange. It was basically just a weird little moment. It was weird. Some of them were good. A lot of them were bad that we were like, couldn't come up with anything on the spot because our improv was terrible. But that's a thing that I remembered that happened that I'm really bad at telling because I'm currently driving, and we just got into a weird little town. So I have to slow down. I can't go as fast. I'm trying to drive on the smoother part so the audio isn't so bad. There we go. No, it's not working. What's your weekly update, Jeremiah?
I was speeding to Phillips, Craig, and Dean.
Speeding?
Yeah. So you know how when you get into a good jam, you can start to go a little faster?
Oh yeah, I have to start out with music when I get up. Otherwise, I can't get up to speed because it's like uphill next to our house that I go to Subway. So whenever I leave, I have to get the music pumping.
But I did that, and Phillips, Craig, and Dean, they're like, dude, they're some of the most incredible worship, like, genuinely.
I love their Here I Am to Worship, and their Great I Am. Their Great I Am is probably my favorite by them.
Great I Am.
Yeah.
Started listening to some other ones. They have a really good, what is that one called? My Hope is Built on Nothing Less. What song is that?
It's 3 words, isn't it?
I'm just
the Solid Rock.
Yes, the Solid Rock. Yes, they have an incredible version of that. Anyway, 3-point harmonies, drums, a little sitar in some of their songs.
Ooh, sitar.
Good guitar. Just good fun and incredible music, and then just really good, like, beautiful lyrics. Crucified with Christ is one of my favorite ones.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. If you don't know who they are, that one you should probably know. It's
literally just Galatians 2:20, which is pretty much.
They have a few of those, which is pretty great. Like just songs directly from Scripture. That's the best kind of Christian songs. Just songs that are like already Scripture.
But yeah, I looked down and I was going like 80 on the highway.
Nice.
Flying to some late 90s, early 2000s Christian worship. These guys are so good. They make the modern worship music look like garbage.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. CC Winans, rest in peace. I will say though, Bodhi is popping off right now. Do you know who Bodhi is?
Is that the guy that you and Matthew said was like kind of legalistic?
No, that's Lecrae. I'm just kidding. No,
Lecrae's not legalistic.
What's the one song? I'll Find You. It's kind of legalistic. Anyways, we can get into that later.
Maybe. Yeah, but there's a girl singing in that song. So
that's true. So it can't be that legalistic.
It's not.
I'm just kidding.
Girls. Anyway. God.
Girl pastors and all that. I'm just kidding.
Girl pastors. Oh yeah. Oh wait, no. Girl pastors are never mind.
Yeah, they're toast. Wait, what were you gonna say about them? They're what?
I was gonna say that they're like totally legalistic.
They're totally legalistic.
But actually, I don't think they are, because if they were totally legalistic, they would say that like women can't be pastors. But anyway, that's a debate for another time.
Yeah.
Anyway, Paul says no, but let's move on.
Okay, I was actually want to get into this. This is another topic on my list.
Okay.
I just mentioned a guy, Bodhi, and it's funny. He just came out with a song like last week. I've been into like for the past year or whatever. I've been super into Christian rap, and just recently it's been like in and out. There have been weeks with bangers, and this week my last release, Radar on Spotify, was just they were just not doing it. They were like all new. I got like 20 new songs, and all of them were mediocre. And like I'm like, you guys are not doing that great. Anyway, there's this guy Bodhi. He had a song last week when it was like all rap songs, and they were rap songs. They were all like all rap songs, and then there was just one by this guy named Bodhi. He's like he's like a worship. He's got like a worship band sounding band, but then he also dips more into the drum machine world and like doing songs that have actual good like rhythm that the kids can listen to. He's got like songs that like he's got the worship songs, like the slow it down kind of like, you know, here I am to worship. Yeah, he got those kind of songs. But then he also has like the songs that get amped up, and I'm like, before even this week came out, where he had this new song called Say So, which is a great song. Look it up, Say So by Bodhi. I'm like, I would always say to myself, Bodhi writes bangers. That's what I would just say to myself, Bodhi writes bangers. And then he came out with this new song. I'm like, oh, I was right. Anyway, he's doing great, and I really hope this guy climbs up the ladder of Christian music.
Do you think Forrest Frank is going to be like considered the top of the top someday? Do you think he's going to become the next Toby Mac?
This is something I really did want to talk about.
Oh no!
Right now, he's more than Toby Mac ever was at his peak. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. You want to know why? Maybe Jesus Freak level he hasn't achieved yet. I don't know how big that was. I can't judge by the 90s because they didn't have a Spotify in the 90s. They had like record sales is what they had, and like CD sales.
True.
So like right now, Forrest Frank is probably the best example of a music creator who can be enjoyed by secular and Christians alike in a way that no other band that I've ever seen has been able to. Right now, if you look on any Instagram Rising songs, if you look on what TikTok sounds, if you look at YouTube Short sounds, any of these, number one Christian artist that is rising up right now is Forrest Frank. He is, right now, his songs, even though they're not all that great, even though they're not all my favorite, he is just super popular, even among like non-Christians. Like his song Your Way Is Better is like, even though the dance is awful and cringe, like this song is in everything. And I've seen so many videos of people who are clearly not Christians, like on my feed and my FYP. It's like people use the music even though like they're not doing it for the message. They're just doing it because they appreciate the art form. And like this, I've never seen this for any other kind of artist. Even Lecrae at his height, I didn't see this. Or KB at his height.
Lecrae did have like a surprising amount of like secular support.
He did. He did. That was mostly because of collaborations, though, I think, and featuring songs.
I don't know. I think a lot of people could resonate with. Lecrae has had a hard life.
Yeah.
And like, especially like, he recently, I don't know if you know this or not, but a couple of years ago, he like denounced the church.
Oh,
like
yeah.
as an organization, I think. Like he just kind of denounced that, and he's to like small worship or whatever.
Yeah.
But Yeah, so I think people can resonate with his struggle a lot too, but it just makes me a little sad that I've never seen him come out of it, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes I can resonate with the struggle, but it's like, sometimes I need more often than not, I need songs that get me out of the struggle instead of resonating with the struggle, because I have such a tendency to want to. Here we are getting serious on the comedy podcast, but I have such a tendency to want to just like if I'm feeling sad, sometimes I'll go to like my sad country music playlist and just I like to feel sad sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like I realized like I don't need to feel that feeling. I need to get out of that feeling, and that's when I need my Phillips Craig and Dean or like my Skillet or something that just like to hit people with, like the Skillet, the band, and like just to get up there and like get moving, get out of it instead of keep feeling the feeling. And anyway, that's just something I wish that I could have seen a little more of in Lecrae.
Yeah, I did feel like I thought he was the top of the top in Christian rap. He's at like, I'm not sure if he's even at 2 million on Spotify that he hit. Forrest Frank's at like 7 or 8 right now. It's crazy. Like, and I didn't even see it coming because like he's had the songs on the radio. Right now, Caleb has no idea what to do with him because they recently I heard that Your Way's Better is actually on Caleb now, which I'm like, what? Because they usually put unpopular songs that have like 3,000 listens total on Spotify, but like they have like I'm gonna say 3 or 4 songs by him on Caleb, and the thing is they're so scared to put like something that isn't only worship band, elevation worship, Hillsong on the radio, because they've gotten way down this path of that's all they can release is this Corey Asbury, whatever Ren Collective like sound, that they can't get into any of this music, and that it's estranged this whole sector of Christianity, these teenagers who are Christian who actually want to listen to decent Christian music. And I think Forrest Frank made it so now they can't ignore that sector of people anymore, because not only is he super popular in the secular crowd, he's super duper popular in like the Christian young people. And I know it's total white girl rap of him, like that's totally Forrest Frank's like demo is the white teenage girls, but like because there's a lot more hardcore Christian rap out there that I think is better than him, but he's definitely pushed Caleb more towards this direction of they can't keep just playing the artists that they're doing this poor quality music with no creativity, no originality, just the same G, D, E minor, C, or whatever chord progression over and over again. He's actually pushing them to their limits. And so, yeah, and he's coming up with creative things, like getting actually the young people thinking about more of like things about the nature of God and that, and the way that these worship bandy sounds that are like are stuck in the 80s of whatever demo that they got. And I'm not saying those songs are necessarily bad, but it's just when the radio is hooked on only playing those and like saying this is the music Christians listen to, and completely ignoring the sector that's like, no, we actually Christians actually do like drum machines in some of our songs, and we actually do like more rhythm, and we want to listen to the radio to hear bops. So this list has the top 4 Christian artists by like followers or like monthly listeners. NF. Forrest Frank is currently set to like pass NF and followers, which is pretty crazy. Go on.
NF, Forrest Frank, Lecrae, Halvey.
Yeah.
I saw a Reddit post, and I know Reddit's a great place to go, but yeah. I saw a Reddit post that said Lecrae is considered the best Christian rapper.
I've seen that for the reason that he when there was nobody else, which is like, I'm going to say that was a good 5 years ago at the least, when it was just him in the scene, and there wasn't like a whole lot of different Christian rappers breaking into the scene, he had the best beat, he had the best melody to back it up, and he had powerful lyrics. And so I say for his time he was pretty good. I was more of a KB fan when it was either KB or Lecrae to listen to. And I was actually talking with Matthew of what if Your Way's Better, which has a terrible dance, is just becoming the new church clap. Which I'm thinking it's far surpassed church clap in popularity, because KB, I don't know, KB's just not done just as well anymore. He hasn't released anything really good. He goes super like Latino like beats in his music, and it's like, I don't really want to listen to that. I want more rap, like more classic.
More hip hop, I think.
Definitely more hip hop, yeah.
More hip hop, more R&B flow in the song.
Yeah. So yeah, that was just one thing I wanted to talk about, something that's been on my mind of those and other. And one last thing I want to say, Forrest Frank, his music isn't like my absolute favorite, but I am glad for him because he's pushing what I hope to be pushing the radio towards actually starting to play music that is appealing and draws more people to God, instead of this music that talks about God in some kind of, fluffy way, like Brandon Lake. Brandon Lake, he's both the problem and the solution to Christian music. Think about it, because not only he does, because he has Count 'Em, which is an epic song of drum machines and like that you introduced me to, that Count 'Em remix.
Mm-hmm.
But he also has I'm gonna praise you on a boat, I'm gonna praise you with a goat, I'm gonna praise you with a fox and socks. He just these rhymes that mean nothing, and like I'll praise you here, I'll praise you there, I'll praise you up, I'll praise you down, and like this, he makes both the most generic worship band sounding things and the most like rapper collaborations as well. He also did a song with Jelly Roll, which
I saw that. I watched it.
I don't know if it's popular at all, but it's all over my feed. Like, they're trying to get me to like it. I've never listened to the whole song all the way through. I've like listened to like a minute of it. I'm like, it's not my style, so I'm not gonna like it. But if God's doing something in the life of Jelly Roll and Brandon Lake, then I'm not gonna stop him. Yeah. So
couldn't if we tried.
Totally.
Okay. I've got a weekly update that's kind of funny.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I was talking with one of my coworkers, and everybody who works in the trades kind of knows that OSHA is a bit of a joke. Safety is totally important for sure. Don't do stupid things, people.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we do stupid things.
Can't stop the feeling.
I was talking with my coworker, and like I mentioned, I was OSHA 10 certified because I had to for my former job, and he also said that he was OSHA certified too. And then he was like, because we're working at the Fleet Farm, and I hope Fleet Farm doesn't get busted for the stupid things I did, but he said he was also OSHA 10, and then one of us made the joke though that while we were here, it was only OSHA 8 we have to worry about, because we just couldn't afford all the way to OSHA 10, so we left a few of the safety things out. We got the OSHA 8 package. And then later,
would you say that OSHA 10 is a 10?
What?
I'm sorry, that's a bad joke. They're not a 10. They're probably not. OSHA's not.
Oh, OSHA's not a 10. No.
OSHA is a 10?
That was a joke Matthew would have got.
But, alright, keep going.
Let's see. If Matthew was here, he would have laughed at
Matthew
that.
literally texted me like 15 minutes ago. Let me read it.
Okay.
Moose.
Live on the
You
pod.
there yet? Alright, I'm gonna respond it.
Wow.
Respond to his text.
Live responding.
Live respond to Matthew. I'm going to go on here.
We're going to say, wish you were here, heart.
Wish you were here. Yep, the better half's down in Kentucky right now. Let me see here. No, we are recording a pod. I just realized I haven't looked at the road in like 5 seconds. We are recording a podcast. Alright, I can't do two things at once. It's probably sounding kind of weird. I have noticed that the road got way smoother, and I'm thanking the Lord Jesus Christ, because the audio quality has got to improved over. I know, yeah, it sounded like Prince or something.
You just hear the road just go.
It's actually it's sort of more like a slap bass. Oh, Matthew responded right now live, and now I will respond to him. Till the pod I said hi, but he said HIGH. Okay, Matthew said hi. Matthew's hi.
Whoa.
All right, I'm going to respond with a classic dad response. Single K, send. There we go.
But you just hear the road. You just hear the road under you, and it's kind of like, and that's my life story.
Yeah, right? Prince, there's another guy we could get into. He hasn't wrote an original song probably ever. Life story he peaked. Every other song has been he literally just writes drum machine and like annoying sounds and then says FYP. That's all he can do. That's all he can do is say FYP.
We've talked about this
before. FYP.
We've talked about this before on the pod.
Okay. We can probably move on. It's been like 40 minutes of weekly updates.
Yeah, but let me finish.
Okay.
Sorry. So, we were at the Fleet Farm and got the OSHA 8, the quality. I can't think of my words right now. The affordable bundle, basically, and because we lost 2 of the OSHAs, we didn't bundle those because it was cheaper.
Would you say the Indian and the Atlantic?
I don't know.
Were those the 2 OSHAs you lost?
That's a good one.
But okay, keep going.
Wish I had a rim shot here. But anyway, later, so we're in the back in the barns, and in our pallet racking, which is where we store all the pallets of feed, on the very top shelf, which is about probably 25, 35 feet up there, somebody knocked a pallet over. So just hanging across there's an aisle, so there's a front side and a back side. Hanging across the slot is just a pallet that tipped over. And we can't pick it up because it fell over and there's no pallet under it anymore. There's just a pile of stuff blocking 2 slots.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm done with this. Kind of didn't want to do the other things that we could have done. Like there was stuff we could have done. I didn't really want to do it at the time. We were working on a project and I just wanted to do this to help the project along. So I was like, okay, we're going to get rid of that. So I stood on the forks of the forklift and my coworker lifted me up to the top shelf. I just stood on the fork, held on to the back crate. He lifted me straight up about 25, 35 feet in the air. And then I got on top of the pallet racking and I was just hucking these 40-pound bags of birdseed down.
Nice.
And he held a pallet up and I was just chucking this birdseed onto the pallet. And then the pallet got full because the bags are like a real slippery plastic kind of a thing. So if I threw more bags on there, they were just going to slip off and fall like 20 feet, 30 feet to hit the ground. And so I was like, okay, bring this down, bring me up another pallet, please. And he was like, okay. And so while he was down there getting me another pallet, I was just kind of standing up here, like 35 feet up in the air. I'm looking down, I'm looking at the bags, and then I remembered, and then it hit me. I remembered that on Monday, when this episode releases, I will be giving a report on workplace safety.
Oh, nice.
And being a safe worker at school.
You're such a good little nugget at work.
And I was like, we'll just keep this little story away from the from the old school safety report.
For sure.
Which is a funny situation anyway, because I'm a welding student and I'm in a group with 3 nursing students trying to do a speech together.
Wow.
And
What do you guys talk about?
They talk about how rough nursing is, and I talk about how great it is being a welder.
You're the one that holds them all together, welds them together.
Okay.
My dad jokeometer is not on Celsius today or whatever.
That made me like, I don't know. That one was like,
bad.
I don't know. That wasn't good.
Bad.
It was not good.
It was bad. It can't even be said bad because bad dad jokes are funny, and that wasn't even bad.
Let me just say, I am not holding these nurses. All right, let's move on.
Whoa. Whoa.
Just needed to put that out there for the pod.
Insert Rizzler gif here.
No.
Last night our chat was popping off. It was all the Shrek. Because our friend Lucas was bringing his sister to the youth retreat, and we just he said it the way he said it was, the girl I'm living with, I'm bringing the girl I'm living with to the youth retreat or something like that.
Whoa,
and we were all like Shrek smiling, like the one where he's like looking at, the Shrek where his face,
no,
where he's like down like. And so it was just that over and over again. It's funny. I'm like, I was closing at Subway. I'm like, I don't have the time to engage with these people on the Shrek GIF. So like, I scheduled out the chicken jockey GIF. I scheduled text like 3 minutes later. I set down my phone, finished the close, and just let my watch just keep buzzing me constantly.
That was really irritating because I was trying to play War Thunder at that time. It was just ba-ding,
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 yeah.
ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. I need new friends.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the next segment? Oh, I have the doc. Sorry.
You have the doc. I can't look.
Send us into the next segment.
All right.
News.
Is it news?
News.
All right.
Should I do the news?
I'm gonna do as much as I know from memory.
Okay, let's do it.
So you can find us on Twitter at NoEchoPod. Send us ideas and stuff there. We actually just got up our Instagram, so that's NotYourEchoChamberPodcast. You can find us on Instagram. Posts have been doing, I would say the first two did super well, and then I accidentally like copy pasted details from like our YouTube shorts because I've been doing more of the short form content, trying to draw people into our longer form stuff. And unfortunately, I just like copied the description instead of like doing each individual word by itself. So what happened is I discovered the world of hashtags and how much. Oh, look, Amish people. That's so weird.
They're really strange.
That is super weird. The giant propane tank. Anyway,
That's a fat Amish man.
oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a propane tank. There are no fat Amish men. There are no fat Amishes. Amish men. Anyway, what was I talking about?
Amish, you were thanking the people for how much they've been loving us on the socials.
Yeah, so the problem is, I posted the video of David jumping over the falls. I made an abridged version. I put it on Instagram. The only problem was that I did not put in each individual hashtag one at a time, and the hashtags are what made everything start popping off, because I realized there's got to be some kind of shortcut to getting my videos noticed and more views, get the views up at least. And that shortcut is called hashtags. They actually work, guys. Use them. I don't know a single person that actually looks up hashtags, but somehow they work. And Jeremiah's birthday video, which was with last week's episode, got like 600 views in like the course of a couple days. So it was pretty crazy. It blew up. So yeah. And I did not enter each individual hashtag into that video on Instagram, so it tanked. So it didn't get seen by people. And I also had another one on YouTube, and it got a total of, even though I got all those hashtags and everything in there, it got a total of 2 views, and it just got killed. I don't know what happened. Like, I guess the algorithm doesn't know what to do with the LaMelo Ball getting old. It was like a dumb clip of us making fun of, like, when the LaMelo Ball gets old, he's just going to be like, 6. Oh, I can't say it. He's just going to be saying it's like, you guys know how tall I was. Anyway, Instagram killed it. And it's kind of weird. Videos do well on certain platforms and worse on others. And, like, because the David video did super well. David jumping the falls from the council retreat episode did super well on YouTube. Just got killed on Instagram. Like, even with all that stuff, it only got like 23 views, which is crazy. But yeah, anyway, so I've been doing that stuff. And also check out our YouTube and Instagram. Definitely follow us there. A lot more short form content coming out. Share the podcasts. That's an easy way to share. It's by like starting people out on the episode clips. I gotta make them more user friendly. Instagram like feed edits is like super unfriendly to like creators. It's not a user friendly system.
Yeah, no, it's incredible the feedback we've been getting, and I just really like we super love all you guys, just all the love we've been getting on the socials, and just hoping we can attract some of those people into the podcast.
Yeah, I got to put more information on the screen of when people see our shorts, like information that we actually have a long form podcast, because I don't know if shorts viewers actually translate into the long form viewers, but I will say that we got 1 YouTube sub so far off of it, so it's been, from what I see, it's been all worth it. Yeah, so definitely find us on those platforms, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram now. There's one more, Spotify. Duh. Spotify poll from last week doing?
I was just about to pull that up and look at it. I think I'm dominating.
You took it down. There's one vote for me, and you guys already know who it is. So, yeah. Matthew did surprisingly well, though, for picking burrito on the 101.
Burrito. Okay, we don't want to give it away. If you haven't listened yet, go back to last week's episode. We drafted the best breakfast foods. And let me just tell you, from the third position, I dominated.
Oh, he totally did, yeah. I picked from, like, the heart, like, what would block up the most ventricles. And, like, Jeremiah picked, like, more healthy. I picked an orange at the end. We don't want to spoil it for you guys. Go listen to that episode. It was great. Probably the most controversial draft we ever had.
56%.
You got 56% of the vote. Yep.
56%.
And me and Matthew had to share the scraps.
Yep.
Wait, and it's 9 votes then?
9 votes, 56%.
Yeah. Wow, 9 votes. So that, how many? You got 4, he got 3. Wait,
no, Matthew's at 33, you're at 11. So
okay, so
between the two of you, so I got 5.
You got 5 votes. Wow,
I got
that's
5.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
That's
insane.
a lot of people voted for you. Clearly won that one.
I had bacon, man.
You
I
definitely
had bacon.
did. Don't want to spoil the draft, but you totally had bacon.
I look. Just go back and listen to it. If you're still here, look, they should have gone and listened to it already.
Exactly. If they were true fans, they probably already turned off this one. They're like, I'm going to go listen to that other podcast because for some reason I didn't see it. I swiped all my notifications off on Monday morning.
They accidentally swiped left when they should have swiped right.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Me neither. I don't know which one means which.
There was a 50-50 shot I got that right. But yes, never been on any dating apps, so I don't know how
definitely. So what's next on the news?
Modest is hottest.
Modest is hottest, as the Amish say. I just saw a sign that has like a buggy and a horse on it, like a yellow construction sign, whatever you call those.
Oh, I thought you like it was an Amish sign that said modest is hottest.
No, I didn't see a sign that said modest is hottest. Primal Eats, modest is hottest. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, now they know where camp is.
Oh, well, duh. I already told them to encourage them to come, and if they didn't come to this week at camp, this past weekend, then they really missed out. Because, oh man, all the stuff that happened. Let's make some predictions about what we think is going to happen this week.
Somebody lost their pants. I'm just kidding.
Somebody's pants ripped
something
open
happened
at the butt.
with pants.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen with pants this weekend.
Yeah, we're just going to be looking at everyone's pants. All right, something with pants. Something is going to happen with pants. Whether it's something good, something bad. Nothing good can happen. It's something bad. Something bad or something immoral. Either one of those two. Those are the two options.
Your pants look incredible today. Did you do them up or something?
Yeah, it's probably going to be mine. I'm probably honestly going to rip these pants later today. I went through my pants looking for pairs I could bring to camp. 3 of them have rips at the bottom of them. So it's just,
the quads. The quad strength it takes.
It's not really the quads, it's more of the waist. It's above. It's above the waist.
Oh, it's really? I was gonna give the credit to the badonkadonk.
Yeah, well that's true. That's also happening. It's funny.
That's happening.
Funny aside, I say that's happening because at work I work at the tortilla factory every week on Tuesday. And they have special pants for us to wear. They're like these checkered pants.
Did you rip the pants?
I did.
The crotch out of those?
I did once accidentally wear one with the whole ripped hole like in the crotch, and Matthew wore it the next week, and then the next week after that, it was gone. Those were both weird concurrent accidents. But what I was gonna say is, if I get the pants up to my waist, they're loose, so I have to get them real tight, so they're really hard to get up. But then once they hit my waist, they're like only a little bit of space left. So yes, you're correct.
You should come to the belt side, my friend. Wear a belt. Look at this. Check this out.
They're checkered pants, so they don't have like the loops.
I have this sick belt that has like a claspy, so it just clasps. Dude, this thing is elite. You got to get yourself a clippy belt. I wear it because I have no junk in the trunk. I've got nothing. My pants would just be falling. I'm the kind of guy that all I can really wear is a hat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true.
Every other thing is like my shirts are just duct taped to my shoulders. I do have decent shoulders, but no, I'm a real skinny guy. But no, you should get on the belt train, man. Get on the belt train.
Should I really? I don't know.
It's comforting. It holds you. It holds your waist.
It holds my waist.
It holds you. You feel
like
safe.
slow dancing. It holds my waist.
I've only ever slow danced once in my life.
Yeah,
That's a story for a different podcast.
And it was with your girlfriend. I'm just kidding.
No.
What do we have next for the news? Because I know I had like 2 or 3 news items. Is there anything that we haven't gone over already?
Upcoming NGYC events and Memorial Day.
Oh yeah, Memorial Day work weekend, I guess, is the next thing. So yeah, that's happening Memorial Day at Northern Greece Youth Camp. They clean up everything, get all the branches and stuff that falls off, and basically get everything ready for the week. I usually don't go because that's like the weekend that like my sister has her birthday, so we've never really been. We always stay home for that. It's like a whole weekend. I'm not sure when it begins or ends and all that stuff, but I know it's always a good weekend to work and get camp ready for the summer camp weeks later. What else we got?
And new drops.
Oh yeah, so I really want to get new drops between segments for the podcast, and I have ideas for some of them, but I really want you guys to like give me feedback. What kind of drops and stuff should we add for the weekly update? I am 100% good with like getting like clips from songs and stuff to be the drops, and like that sort of thing is like to in between our segments to like smooth it over from one to the other, and I hope to do that and it'll be way easier for editing too. I just put them in between instead of having like this crossover with music. I also hope to do like actual theme music soon for our podcast instead of using like the generic overplayed clip champ background music. So any feedback about that would be greatly appreciated.
I don't think we have time for a media review, honestly.
No,
today.
not really. Yeah, because we're almost to camp, and I actually made a whole ton of notes on there. I don't know why I didn't save them. Hold on.
It just could have been mine. It could have just been mine, like to like why like I didn't quite upload.
Okay,
like I didn't connect to the Skynet.
Yes.
Didn't link in to the
LinkedIn.
To the LinkedIn, to the Nelnet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that I will say, Phillips, Craig, and Dean, like I was talking about before, really good, just organic sounding music, really godly, incredible harmonies. Just makes you feel good. The truth. It's a feel good truth, and give them a listen. That's my suggestion of the week.
Yes. All right. Definitely do that. I've also song recommendations because we're about to end the podcast. We're almost to camp. We have 0.5 miles before we get to camp. So my recommendations for songs to listen to, definitely Say So by Bodhi. There's this new artist that came out. He's he has hype music and stuff, like the techno kind of stuff, and it's really good. He has only one song out. It's called The Changes. It's by Ironclad Fury. I highly recommend it. Geo, we've mentioned him a couple times. He has a song called Jumpin'. And Torrin Wells, he honestly hasn't had a really great song since Hills and Valleys. But I would say the best song since then that he's just released, Let the Church Sing. I know it's got a little bit of Acts 2 stuff in it, which honestly, doctrine, whatever, it's fine. But yeah, so that's good, and yeah.
He released a really good re-release of a song with Skillet.
Did he?
Recently.
With
that
Skillet,
one with Skillet. It was incredibly good. It may have released on the Skillet page.
We will be back at some point.
Where are you going?
Well, no, we're talking to the pod. Talking to the people.
Talking to the podcast.
Yep. Oh, that's an immediate turn off. Anyways, let's go unpack our stuff.
All right.
We'll be back, peoples.
Bye.
It's after camp and we're dead tired and we're recording because we love you guys and we want you guys to know what happened during the week. We're going to go over that and one more media review thing and then we're going to be done.
We're just going to die.
Yeah.
Send this car off a cliff.
We had our air conditioning on and we turned it off and slowly we're going to start boiling. So what do you think we should start with? Should we start with the week or should we start with my media review thing that I wanted to do?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're eating crackers and gummy worms right now, so it's the life.
Yeah.
I'll start with my media review so you can keep eating.
Okay.
Yeah, let me quick go to our doc, because there's something interesting I wanted to mention, and it's a no-spoiler thing, but I want to tell you my impressions. Have you seen any of Andor yet? Andor Season 2?
I've seen Season 1. I saw a commercial for Season 2.
Season 2 is now out, and I just have to say, me and my dad watched the first episode because you watch one a week. So tonight of this recording, which will be last night of this release, we're gonna watch episode 2. And so I know it's you're not supposed to judge a entire series by one episode that you've seen so far, but from what I've seen of the first one, it looks like Andor might be falling into like the sad tropes of previous seasons. Now, I can't really tell for sure, but these are just my first impressions, so it's going to be real brief. Concerns I've had about it, besides, these are not moral concerns, these are story concerns, which is what we really care about on this podcast.
Amish.
Okay, so there's... Oh, Amish, yes. This is where we said Amish last time we passed by Amish children. Anyway, so there's 3 things. The first thing is that the storyline looks like it might be going a little bit more conventional. Like, the characters might become more conventional. The arc, the character development of Cassian Andor looks like it might... They don't know really what to do with it right now, so they're like trying to make him become more conventional of a person. I don't know. I can't really tell. The second thing was they started like putting in, like, you know how Mandalorian had like that casual humor that happened every few seconds? Okay. It looked like Andor was starting to like do that, where they'd have like these jokes in this series that what my dad said is it's like a show that we watched because of how gritty and dark it was, because that's the whole hook of it, is the rebellion starting, and it's like a dark story up to the creation of the rebellion. And they added this scene, now there's no spoilers, but they added like the first scene of the first episode is like Andor gets in like a spaceship, a TIE, I don't know if it's TIE fighter, it's a TIE interceptor or something. You know, the Inquisitor starship, one of those deals. Okay. With like the wings that go with like curve up. Mm-hmm. He gets in one of those.
An experimental.
And basically what happens is he just starts crashing into all the walls and stuff. And it's supposed to be like this humorous bit that like at the beginning of the episode. And it kind of killed the vibe of the first episode, that he's just goofing around and like, oh, whoops, and like it's adding like the humor that Andor season 1 that it did have, if it had any, was more serious humor. It was not like physical comedy kind of humor. So
slapstick.
Yeah, slapstick kind of humor. And that's I can't tell yet if they just did it for this first episode, because you really can't tell the direction of the show until a couple episodes in, unless it's like The Mandalorian and you don't know it till like 12 episodes in and you realize the season's over. But then the third concern I have is that they are substituting actual character development with cliches. So there was a few cliche lines that people said, and it might be because there's nowhere left for certain characters to develop because they already had good arc. Like at the end of this first season of Andor, there's spoilers. Okay, if you've seen it already, just skip forward in this podcast like 5 minutes.
I haven't.
You haven't seen the last episode?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, I will not say anything, but Andor is a changed man, and he says something that shows how changed he is. And I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of places for Andor Season 2 to take that. So there was really no lead-ups besides like the side plots that was going on. So, but a few things that said were cliche, and honestly, you really can't tell from this point. It sounds like I'm being harsh and judgmental, and I'm not saying these are the actual direction the show's going to go, but we're just going to see as time goes on. Alright, that's really what I wanted to say about that. You ready to go over the week stuff?
Weekend. Oh,
weekend, yeah, the weekend stuff. What happened?
Like this part of the podcast, this is the weekend.
It's true, it's the weekend. The thing ends in a week away. Are we almost at the quick trip?
Yeah, there's a quick
trip.
Alright,
we might want to pause the episode and then keep recording in a second.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I'm going to go get some orange juice because I'm parched and I'm going to be talking a lot, so hold on. Oh, no, we're back now. I got orange juice and I got Body Armor Sport Water, which costed less than Jeremiah's 2 body armors that have flavor and stuff.
They were 2 for $5, so individually they were left.
$5 foot. You know, this weekend somebody told me that they would go to Subway if it was still $5. But our stuff is super overrated. You have to pay like $15 foot longs now. anyways, so talk about the weekend. I'm sure we'll remember details and funny moments that came up, and don't expect us to know last names. So this weekend, of course, was the youth retreat, spring youth retreat at camp. It was you and I were there. A lot of other people were there of significance. Our friend Lucas was there as well. Matthew's not there. Silas was not there. But a lot of other people came, and it was actually probably the smallest group I've seen at a youth retreat. Honestly, it was mostly leaders. So of people who were kids and not there to be like leaders and like direct stuff. It was also like the most respectful, the most on time group that we've had at like a youth retreat. So yeah, we went to McDonald's and we recorded most of the podcast. Yeah, and we had campfire. That was great. Played a lot of 9 Square.
Always play 9 Square. And that was where
lots of 9 Square.
That was where we discovered that little sheep was was up there with us. He was on our level.
Yeah, little sheep.
Playing.
Yes, sir.
Our homie.
Our homeboy John, who we call Little Sheep. We'll get into that, why we call him that later. We also have another friend who's a counselor, and we have this catchphrase that we always say between us because of a verse in Ecclesiastes. We always say, money can move mountains. Because there was a thing that came up where, like, there's a verse in Ecclesiastes about money answers everything, but, Ecclesiastes is the book that says, like, what it doesn't mean. And so there's, like, that, and wine is such and such, and money answers everything. So we looked up, he said that verse existed to another counselor. He's like, no, that doesn't exist. Then he looked it up and showed it to him, and he's like, yep, money can move mountains. So it became a funny thing between us. Like, I drew a picture of money moving a mountain. It was actually pretty good. And so whenever we couldn't, he also kept messing up me and Jeremiah, so he would just say, Jeremiah, Christopher, money can move mountains, when he was trying to remember my name. Yeah, so that was funny. Oh, I also did, early Saturday, I had to run to Walmart because I realized I didn't have the money to pay for the week because I had not done it online. So I had to go run into town and get my $80. So that was kind of annoying. But I also did buy 3 boxes of crackers to share with the boys.
That was where they came from.
Yep. I went into town to do that. We played a game of kickball after chapel. And there were these erroneous rules that were invented to manipulate the game into me and Jeremiah's team losing.
David.
So, David, you know who you are.
We know you listen. We know you're the activities director.
We're calling you out right now.
This was a little horse garbagey,
yeah,
David.
a little bit. Just a little bit. What happened was we're playing kickball, right? We're on the blacktop. We're doing that. So the space is out. It's baseball, but with a kickball.
Feet.
Yes. Yeah, you're kicking it instead of hitting it with a bat. So there are 3 sizes of ball, and at the beginning it was you could pick whichever one you want anytime you were up to bat, and we were just running through all of the batters. We weren't doing 3 outs. We were just running through the entire batting lineup, so everyone would get a turn per inning. So that was the first round. So we got to pick any size ball we wanted, and we were cooking. We were on fire. And then, because you know what happened? There were 3 sizes, and we of course picked the smallest, which was like a playground ball, which you could just launch that thing. So of course we picked that one. And then we got the rules, and then they decided you can't use the same ball twice. Well, that's great. Everyone gets warmed up, and we've already used our small one. And so they just invented rules halfway through the game. And so, of course, we ended up losing because everyone else got warmed up with the awful balls that were, like, easy to catch midair because I was third baseman when the other team was up to bat. And so, of course, I caught a bunch of them. But I'm super bad at being at third base because I never know where to throw to. I'm super dumb.
Always first.
Yes.
Always first, because the goal is just stop the first runner.
Yeah.
Unless you see a chance to throw to second and then to first for the double play.
Anyway, for all that I just crap on it, it was actually great. I enjoyed it a lot. Just kind of erroneous, the rules there.
We still love you, David.
Still love you, David.
Number 1 listener.
Conditional. I'm just kidding. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened. We played a lot of volleyball. A ton of volleyball.
It's so fun.
Yeah, we played so much. We accidentally got the volleyball stuck up like a high branch. Like, I know we mentioned on the council retreat, Matthew was crashing out because he accidentally got like the ball stuck on a branch. Well, 2 branches up from that is where we got it stuck this time. And so David just straight up climbed the tree to get it down, which was awesome. I have a picture of him up in the tree. Like, he, like, clenched the tree. He redeemed himself by I gave him a boost up halfway, and then he just, like, held onto the tree and pulled himself up to the top. It's one of those massive trees that doesn't have, like, a branch for, like, 12 feet or, like, way up there, yeah. So, yeah, he totally did that. Yeah, and then part of the youth retreat is you have to do a skit, like, you have a small group of people who discusses what happens. Yeah.
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
Real quick. About the volleyball. It was really funny. So there's this group of people that were all related, and I won't say their names for, protect the innocent. But it was really funny because they were all related, and they were very much acting like it. So it was really funny, and there kind of became like this meme of this one girl that, like, whenever the ball would just, like, be in trouble, I don't know, I think they know more about volleyball than we do.
Yeah, they actually play.
I think they were, like, playing positions.
Yeah.
If anybody who plays volleyball knows what we're talking about. Oh, wrong one. So, like, I think they were playing positions, and they were trying, there we go. Just trying to clean the windshield live on the pod. Sorry, guys. But, well, like, apparently it was her job to do something, but I don't know quite what. But every time, like, the ball would just be, like, loose in midair, they would scream her name.
No matter where they were or what position they were in or if it was coming to them.
And most of the time, they would then also go after it. So it'd be like, if I was like, Christopher, and then I ran at the ball and tried to hit it. And then if he, like, interfered or anything, I'd be like, come on, man. But it was really funny because they were just goofing off a little bit. And so we started doing it, too, on the other side. So it just kind of became a meme. Like, whenever, like, the ball was coming down or whatever, we would just scream her name, just be like, where were you? That was all you, even if it was just, like, wildly out.
Yeah, we also played this game called Death Ball, which is where you have this enormous ball that you're basically playing Nukem, if you know what that is. You're basically, just launching it into the air, a ball, like, way up in the air, and then it comes down, and then you're trying to catch it so it doesn't touch the ground on your side of the net. You just gotta catch it, make sure it doesn't. And if you catch it one-handed, you can get a person back in, and if it touches the ground, the person nearest the ball, it goes out until somebody catches one-handed. And last team standing wins. So that's basically how that works. So I explained the entire game to you. So yeah, it was funny. There were a few funny moments with that. Our buddy John, his sister, was it a sister? I have no idea how those people are related.
I think I know how those people are related, but it's like, they're one of those, like, big families.
Yeah.
Matthew actually might know them because I think they're one of the families that's kind of quasi connected to their family.
Yeah, Matthew's part of a gene pool that is rapidly shrinking, and he just wants to make it even smaller. Hopefully I didn't dox him right there. Anyway,
none of Matthew's relatives listen to this podcast.
Totally, yeah. And none of the people who will be related to him. Okay.
Wait, what?
Just kidding. No. Matthew's gonna kill me. I'm slowly getting hotter and hotter in here. We've been recording for 10 minutes and I'm dying, and we turned the AC off.
Matthew, please don't kill us. We are cooking in a car right now.
We're cooking right now. We're cooking with carbon negative fuel alternatives.
Actually, we are just cooking in carbon dioxide.
Yeah. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah. So John, he's like in position, like this massive, like we're all locked in, and the ball comes towards him, and like the one girl, she shouts, John, and then he catches it, and he's like, what? She's like, get that. And so that just became another meme that I was just like, whenever something happened, I just said, John, he's like, what? I'm like, get that. It was hilarious. Get that. So for small group, I was getting about this. There's always a small group of like 5 or 6 people, and you get together and you like prepare to do a skit later in the night. So on Saturday night, everybody does a skit that they come up with and prepare and stuff. So what we did is we took from the book of, it was Luke chapter something. Anyways, the story about the Pharisee and the tax collector, about how the tax collector goes to the temple and he doesn't even want to look up at God, and he prays that he basically prays from a repentant heart, and the Pharisee prays and thanks others that he's so much better than everybody else, basically that. So we really elaborated it and gave like the backstory, including a shepherd named Shepherd the Sheep Man, and all that stuff.
Shout out E. Higgins.
Shout out to my boy Evan, yeah. We also got all that stuff. So we basically very much elaborated the story. I'm going to put the links on YouTube because the skit will be out on YouTube hopefully tomorrow. That is what Dave Green told me. I think we did excellent. Yeah, so...
Plus it was like straight from what the speaker was talking about. Like, he mentioned it, and then we even got like some cred this morning.
Yeah, we got credit in the what is it? The chapel this morning. He mentioned it again. He said the tax collector, like we mentioned last chapel, or in the skit last night. And I was like, yeah, because I played the tax collector.
So,
is it your only son? That's all you have left? I'll take him. Yeah.
Out of context, but go watch the video. It's really funny. It was really well done on everybody's part.
Hold on, let me cough real quick. Okay, yeah. And in that, our boy John played a sheep. And his line was bad. That was his one line. He just said that a couple times. It was like a real Peppermint Patty moment. That's all for all my Charles Schultz fans out there. Anyway, but basically that ended up giving him a name during our volleyball. Little Sheep is what we call him. So he'll forever be referred to as Little Sheep on this podcast if we ever mention him again. Oh, yeah, so a lot of volleyball, a lot of that. We did that, performed that skit at night, and then something else interesting happened that actually got some content for this podcast. I actually went around and asked people the question that I asked at the beginning of this episode, which was, in a fight, who would win? One man or 100 gorillas? No, one gorilla or 100 men. And I thought it would be 100 men all the way, because that's obviously the answer. Like, I even heard somebody say, well, I'm going to spoil it. Listen to the actual recording. But it was, like, split down the middle what people were saying. And there was some obnoxious logic, and there was some hilarious logic. The recording even started out strong. So I'm going to release that. I'm going to check out how long this episode is. And if it's too long, I'll just release that on Thursday. So I think our other podcast is already super long, so I'm going to add that one to our Thursday episode. So, so I'm going to release that one on Thursday. Of people's opinions. I went around and asked like 20 people what they thought, and it was pretty much split down the middle, which is unfathomable. We also played, what was that game we played last night? Wavelength. We played Wavelength.
It was hard.
It was very hard. If you ever played it, I don't want to explain it. It's super hard to explain. So, let me just try it. So there's one person. Okay, everybody's split into two groups. Each group, every turn, sends up one person. So let's say there's Group A and Group B. So for round one, Group A sends up one person. They go up, roll a dice, and they see a number. Now, there's a spectrum up on the screen that goes from 1 to 20, and the person who was sent up is trying to communicate to their group using only one word and no facial expressions whatsoever to convince them to figure out where on the spectrum that's the number that the dice rolled is. So how it works is, say there's a category of good is 0. Wait, is there 0 or is it 1? Good is 1. And 20 is evil. So say they're trying to get him to guess the number 10. Then something they might say is technology, because technology is like a medium that, like, it's not evil and it's not good, it's a tool. So then they would say technology, and then their team gets to start out by guessing where do they think it is on the spectrum. Do they think who this person that we sent up there, what do they think technology is? So they might think, oh, maybe it's closer to 7, and because they think technology is more good than bad, or maybe it's 13 because they think it's more bad than good. So they're trying to guess what the number is that was rolled, because that's what the person is trying to communicate through the singular word. It's super complicated. I know you probably don't understand it at all from the way I'm saying it, but anyway, look up the rules if you really want to know it.
My Wavelength players out there, shout out, my guys.
Yeah, what you're trying to do is once Team A makes a guess where on the spectrum it is, then we get the spectrum needle gets pointed towards that number, and then the other team gets to either guess if it was higher or lower than that number. And if they guess correctly higher or lower, then they get 1 point. And if the other team gets it exactly on or 1 point off, they also get 1 point. But if it's exactly on, they actually get 5 points. So that's pretty good. Yeah, so if you actually want to know how to play it, look up, I totally forgot the name again.
Wavelength.
Thank you very much. I was like, spectrometeration. Yeah, so my brain is dead right now. Yeah, we went to bed, ate some crackers, then went to bed again. Oh, there was this very funny thing. So this one of our co-counselors, I really want to give names, but I don't think we're really allowed to. But basically, she has like a disclaimer or something on the bottom of her shoe. So we were making a joke that like on the bottom of her shoe, she just had like a gospel tract or like scripture or something. So as she walks, people look at her footprints and they get like the gospel.
We were also just like pointing at the soles of our shoe to just like, please read this.
Yes, please read this.
Please read this
Yeah,
right
just
now.
pull up your shoe, like, yes. Yeah, so, yeah, it was pretty funny. That was a tangent we went off on.
But yeah, no, because the joke went quickly to the extreme that she just had the whole Bible just printed on the bottom of her shoes.
Yeah, also, from the game, Wavelength, from the game, Wavelength was like, the category was a dog person in the Bible to cat person in the Bible, which was not, I don't know if that was necessarily a great spectrum, because I really thought it was based on whether you're a dog person or a cat person. So you would associate, if you like cats, then you would associate a dog person with like Satan or something.
Right.
So that's what I thought it would be like. Anyway, we were whispering what we thought like the end of the spectrum would be, and I think I mentioned we mentioned Jesus, and like at the very end we're just like, yeah, Jesus is my dog, and I said, oh no, wait, did I invite Jesus into my heart to be my savior or my dog? Jesus is my dog, yo. Yeah, so that was another dumb thing.
I love how you were like chuckling, like, yeah, that was a dumb thing.
That was a thing that happened during the weekend. That happened dumb. All right,
Pretty cool, right?
yes, yeah, we packed up and all that. I packed up like before everybody else got up, even, but I always do that. But for breakfast this morning, we were at our table, was just talking about what foods we would most want to bathe in. We went from oatmeal to like, what is it, spaghetti and marinara sauce and meatballs.
Our poor counselor friend.
Yeah.
It was a man's conversation.
And there was one girl at our table, one of our friends, and she would just try not to eat. And I was like, applesauce. John was like, little sheep was like, applesauce, like right off the bat. Like,
right off.
Like, what would you think? And he's like, applesauce, right? Like, you didn't have to think about it at all, even. Yeah, so that was pretty much it. Last thing we did was today, right before lunch, we played Noodle Whack. Noodle Whack is basically, if you've ever heard of the game, is it? No. Okay, so there's 5 people linking arms on the blacktop.
5 pairs of people.
5 pairs of people who are linking arms. There are people with noodles, and then there are people without noodles. And the people without noodles are trying to not get whacked by a noodle, because if you get whacked by a noodle, then you have to go and whack other people with a noodle. And if you have a noodle at the end of the game, you lose. So you're trying to run away from the people with noodles, and how you get to safety is you link arms with one of the groups of 2 people, and then once you link arms, the person on the other side of the linked group has to leave now. So there's always only 2 people in the linked group. So you're always trying to get away, and it's just a fun time, and sweating your butt off and running around.
And then you have to like link arms with people, and that like includes like girls, even when you're like drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
You just like want to be like, I'm sorry that I'm so sweaty right now.
Right? Yeah, because I don't wear any cologne or any like smelling salts for men or whatever. I don't have doTERRA for men or anything, so I probably smell like a total butt. And like, I'm so sorry for your loss. Cilia.
I did the Bluetooth connection with some people.
Yeah.
Where like your arms are linked, but you're not like you're not touching them. You're just you're just linked around one another's elbows. And it's just like,
Shout out to my boy Jeremy. We made sure that we didn't touch arms at all, because that would have been
okay.
Yeah. So then we basically cleaned up and everything after lunch that day, pizza and all that. I ate a ton of salad because I don't know. I get vegetable deficiency, and the vegetables there are so good. The greens, just stuff them down my throat.
Like, I don't know what happens, if it's just like the adrenaline or the excitement or like just being around friends or something. I can almost never eat at camp.
Yeah, it's like I said. After David climbed down the tree, he had so much adrenaline, and he said he could barely eat because of all the excitement. And he's like, I said, yeah, but adrenaline fills your stomach. It really does. Yeah. So that was basically the weekend. I know that was terrible, and you really didn't get any details. It was not as meme heavy as council retreat was.
There were less, but I feel like they were impactful.
Yeah.
We had little sheep.
Yeah, we had little sheep.
Shouting Haley at her.
John, get that.
Get that.
Get that. Yeah, we had a few good moments. Yeah, so it was definitely a good time. Small group, a lot of leaders, a lot of people showed up. A lot of people said they were going to show up and didn't. Like I said, it's whatever. It's a paid event, so that happens. Anyway, next camp event is going to be the Memorial Day weekend, which I'm going to have stuff on like Saturday of. So I'm not actually going to be there, but if anyone wants to volunteer for that, I'm here to proudly declare that it exists and will happen and you can do it. So, is there anything else that we're supposed to mention before this podcast ends? I think we have I guess just the usual stuff that we mentioned, like where you can find us. We did mention the socials at the beginning of the episode, and my arm, I just realized it's now glistening in sweat.
Yeah, I'm slipping on this steering wheel.
Yeah, so just one last thing. Share the podcast with people in real life. That's the only thing I'm going to say at the end. And also, there was anything this week, so there's nothing to vote on. But there's one thing you have. It's your duty and responsibility as a listener to this podcast to share it with your friends.
Hero's duty.
Yeah, it's your hero's duty, and it's a big duty.
This is a big duty.
It's a big duty.
We're putting this big duty on you guys.
We're putting this big duty on you. Share it with a real person. And if you do, comment about it, because that will win you stickers, and we still have stickers, and nobody has got one in a while, and they're starting to get dusty on my shelf, and people need to get those stickers. I honestly should have given a sticker to every person who was in that recording. I don't know why I didn't even think of that. That would have been a great way to get our podcast out there.
It really would have.
Man, now I hate myself. Okay.
I hate you too.
Thanks.
We just put a duty on our listeners.
Yeah.
And we didn't spread the word.
I know.
No,
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Oh man, I'm so sorry, but I guess it doesn't matter. You know why? Because it's not your
It's
echo
not your
chamber.
echo chamber. Is that Lucas?
Okay, it looks like Lucas. Yeah.
Is that my boy?
Looks
Anyway.
like it. Yeah, and then the last one I just want to say
Andrew
is a song by Switchfoot. Hey Andrew. Oh, let me roll down the window.
Roll down the window.
Hey Andrew. Roll down the window. Roll down.
How's it going, Andrew? What's going on with you?
Just pull in. So did we.
We're recording our podcast right now.
Currently. Yeah. Right now, yeah. Speak up. What do you want to tell the people? Don't do it? All right.
Don't do it. You heard it from Andrew. Don't do it, people.
Straight from the horse's mouth. Wait, is that the expression? What's the expression?
I think that's it.
Wait. Is that not the expression? What's the expression?
Yeah, that's it. Straight from the horse's mouth.
All right, nice.
I never look a gift horse in the mouth.
Oh, that's true.
Hello, people.
Hello, Lucas.
And now Lucas is on the pod.
Lucas is on the he's on the podcast.
All right.
Anyway, we have to go over this stuff later. Anyways,